I actually started a minute early. That's not like us at all.
No, it's not.
Wow. Hey, everybody. We're back again. Thanks for listening. Thanks for checking us out. And
What are we?
Power and Speed podcast.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm not sure if I'm thrilled with the name, but we got it now. We got to own it. We got it.
Car guy.
You weren't going to say it.
No, we got domain names. We got all that crap. Phone number to call in, 908-751-0211. Tonight, we're going to have Tim Christ from Coast Chassis.
Yes, we are.
That's a good one.
Good guy.
Yep. In studio, we have Thomas,
Hello.
Crunch, and Thaddeus.
Tad.
Yep, me. I'm here.
The Tad.
Now, what do you want to be referred to, as Thaddeus or just Tad?
Either way. But the thing is, my grandmother calls me Thaddeus, so it kind of
I hit you with a sentimental right there.
well, not a sentimental, but it's like, how old do you think you are? You know?
All right, we're going to stay with Tad.
Yeah, we're going to stay with Tad.
Enough of that. That subject's gone.
You're gonna learn a lot about Tad over time.
Like Tiny's parents, they call me Thaddeus. All like the older Polish people call me that. So it's
Okay, now you're picking on Polish people? Come on, dude. We're trying to build an audience here.
Yeah, come on,
I was
man.
gonna say this crowd doesn't seem to be that crowd. So
All right.
in the room, that is.
I had to put that on the list.
Yeah, listen, you may need a list for him.
Yeah, just for him.
Yeah, Tad.
All right, well, the one thing that I want to talk about, we talked about it on the one that we recorded on Saturday, which is going to be utilized at some point in the near future. There's a reason behind that.
Yep.
Nobody needs to know.
No, because we don't know.
We don't know. We actually have Utah on the map, finally.
Yeah, we do.
We had 3 before.
Yep, 3. Well, I don't think we actually talked about it because we didn't use that one. Remember?
Oh.
Yeah, that
This
whole
is like deja vu, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So nobody knows that we already had a conversation about Utah, but we'll tell the listeners.
We had a conversation about Utah.
Yep.
So what happened, Mike?
3 people
Yep.
managed to listen,
Yes, they did.
and one of the 3 actually emailed me to hate on me.
Yep.
So I have managed to alienate 33%, 33.3,
Of Utah?
whatever.
A full third. A
of
full
U-
third
a
of
full
Utah.
third of Utah.
The Utahians or whatever they are.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
And
but-
we really needed that one.
well, he was kind of nice about it. He said there are cars out here. You know, they're not all worried about finding their next wife or anything. It was something like that. He was okay.
yeah,
about it.
yeah.
He was hating, but it wasn't. It wasn't.
He hated it in a good way.
Yeah, it was good. So yeah, we've got them on the map. They were the last state. Now, mind you, it's 3 downloads, and I don't mean 3,000. I don't mean 300,000. I
3.
mean 3.
Yep.
You know, so we've got big numbers in a lot of the places that you probably expect, like places that you've probably been to, Tom. Like places in Texas, Oklahoma, of all things. So the Street Allo guys probably hate us.
It's okay.
A lot in Florida, a lot in North South Carolina, tons
They'll
in
love
New
us
Jersey.
later.
Yeah, tons in New Jersey and New York.
Yep.
It's really amazing how much it's grown. So
Tons in the UAE too. United Arab Emirates.
I was going to get to that, but you got me.
Sorry.
That's right.
Overseas.
You scooped me. Yep. The what now? I can never remember what they're called.
Emiratis.
Emiratis. Yeah, they're listening too, which is good because Anthony's car owner Saud, and I mean, or Saud. I'm no like.
I think he's from Kuwait, isn't he?
But he's over there.
Yeah, he's in the Middle East. Yeah.
I mean, I can't pronounce those names. I'm a typical uncultured American. I can't. I mean, I have no foreign language skills at all.
And now you're worldwide.
Yeah,
So-
now everybody can listen to anything. And you know all the UK guys are like classless Americans. You know, I mean, but you know, he actually posted a couple clips from when Anthony was on. You know, Anthony DeSoma, which is always good. Always good to have Anthony.
Good.
You know, so yeah, it's got to say thank you to everybody who. I mean, look, we're not advertising. It's not like we.
No, we don't do anything.
Yeah, we didn't take an ad out on a NASCAR race or anything. I mean, just people are finding it.
Good
And that-
thing because everybody was sleeping during that.
But we're building fans.
Well, I know a car that could get a ad on it, but
A car that could get an ad on it.
right out in your back lot.
Oh, don't even talk about that stupid circle track car. That is going to be that is going to ruin me.
He's just mad because he has to work on it.
No, I don't actually. I mean, I have to do the things they can't do, but I kind of drew that little line.
I know, but you're still going to be working on it, and you hate it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know why I hate it? I got to be honest with you. A good portion of that is because I can't figure it out. I can't. Like these guys that I know, and I'm not trying to hate on any of the people we race with, although, you know, Crunch, I'm good at it. He's looking at me just waiting for me to say something stupid. I'm smarter than all these guys. I am. By a ton, like not by a little. I mean, these are guys that if they're going to count, you know, the turns in a shock, they got to take a chew off. You know what I mean?
Wow.
And I can't make this good enough for my brother to win, even consistently, or even we've only had a couple.
Well, is it all you or?
I feel it's me. It actually, it makes me feel bad. I have so much competitive spirit
Right.
that if I can't do well at something, I mean, look, I'm smart enough to know if you can't do it, you don't do it.
Right.
And we ran the sportsman class. Remember we talked about the 2 hours.
Dominated that.
Right. But you're inquisitive enough to keep trying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
and
the conflict.
the 2-hour class killed them. There were 24 heat races.
Impound.
Yeah, they there's a whole story behind that we can talk about some other time. There were 24 heat races, and I believe we won 22 of them from the back.
Right.
From like last because we were always high up in the points. I think we won at one point. I think he won like 7 in a row, won 2 in one night when there was a makeup feature. I mean, just unstoppable.
Right.
Fantastic.
Cool.
And we decided we're going to move up and play with the big boys in the modified class. Look like a bunch of friggin' idiots. It showed us how little we didn't know.
Reality check.
Yeah. So
Well, I remember when they used to. You didn't want to leave the car to be impounded, so you had them lock up your trailer and come to the shop before you open it up and let them into it.
yeah,
You
here,
want-
I'll tell the story real quick.
Yeah.
What happened is we did so well. Everybody was completely convinced that we had you
reverse rotation motor, blah, blah, blah.
reverse rotation motor, 2-speed transes. Somehow or another, this rumor started that we had drilled valve seats. I don't even know what that would do, but our valve seats were drilled. It
Was it a restrictor plates type stuff?
was a 2-barrel, so it wasn't really restrictor.
Oh, I mean, let air in.
From a drilled valve seat?
Yeah. I mean, if you drill it properly through
But
the
wouldn't
outside.
you have air go backwards when on the compression stroke? I mean, I can't even wrap my head around why that would work.
I can't either.
Well,
I
when
probably-
you're reverse rotation, it works, right?
Well, yeah, I guess it would.
How would it work in Australia?
There you go.
So
Add to the rescue.
we did so well that at the end of the race, the tech guy was all excited. He goes, "You guys are doing so well." He's like, "The car's so good in the middle of the corner." And now listen, this was to the point. Sooner or later, when you're racing, you're either the good guy in a white hat or the bad guy in a black hat. Okay, that's how it works. Brian went from being a good guy when he won a couple to he's in front of the, like the stands, getting a picture taken and interview and everything. And people are like, "You suck, you
Booing
cheater." And I remember there was some fat girl yelling at Brian in the front row, and she goes,
we can't say fat girl.
"You can't say fat girl."
We can.
Yeah, she was a moose, dude. She should have been at Walmart. So
Come on, man.
so she's yelling at Brian, and Brian looks up and he goes, You need a fucking diet." And I'm like, "Oh my God." Oh yeah. But it got bad. So the guy was all excited. He's like, "We can fix all these rumors. All of them. We got it." And I'm like, "All right, great, Bob. What are we gonna do?" "We'll tell you when we get back to your trailer." Okay. So we're still, Brian's getting his picture taken. There's fans coming over, whatever.
Moose.
Here's Bob. And I was like, what the tech guy's like, "What are we going to do?" "We got this. Don't worry about it. Let's let the crowd thin down a little bit." Because he knew that when he told us what he wanted to do, we would go ape shit. And so now everything's calmed down. There's only a few people left around. "What are we going to do, Bob?" "We're going to take your car." "Well, what?"
And take it where?
They wanted us to leave it at the racetrack so they could inspect it and take it apart over the week. And I'm like, "Oh, no.
The entire car,
Yeah.
engine, trans.
Check your cam, everything that you got, all your
Yeah.
secrets.
Yeah. So
Oh,
I was
no,
like,
no.
no, that's not happening. Like, so we came up with a solution. They put our engines were sealed. They had to be pre-inspected. You had to put the motor together while the tech guy was there.
Right.
So they knew you didn't mess with anything. So we put seals on the trailer so we couldn't get in the trailer. And then the bullshit started that
Yeah.
one of us climbed in through the roof vent or something. I mean, just insane.
You had
a
Joe
lot.
Siri going through the roof vent. He
That's
was
a lot
rather
to
slender.
Go, that's
So
a lot to go through, isn't it?
Yeah, but but we really killed them because back then there were like 50 something cars in that class. So if you qualified in your heat race, they would handicap like the top 6. So you would never start any worse than 18th. But to get from 18th to the front, then we only ran 15 laps. It was tough. I mean, we couldn't do it now. Now
They were cheating.
no, we weren't cheating, but no, we just built the motor
Right.
like we would using what we thought we knew. And the other engine builders that did circle track stuff were kind of where they usually are. They're behind the drag guys. So we killed them. It was a
Right,
joke.
right,
Restart, 5 cars, right past people. Like,
They're cheating.
yeah, okay.
And nitrous.
That's fine. Yeah.
I mean, you guys were on top of your game at that time. So
Yeah, they
it'd
were.
be hard to assume that you would have to cheat.
they brought a fresh view in that seemed
Yeah.
to work.
I mean, it was really simple. Like they said, you can use any 194 valve head. They didn't care what it was. You had a compression roll, 9-1. So I mean, look, we did what drag guys do.
Right.
We looked at what the compression was on the guy's tester when he was there. His tester would always say 8.6. So the number we shot for mathematically wasn't 9.0. It was like 9.4, 9.5.
Right.
And then we pass and we'd have more.
Okay.
And,
got you.
so it's just dumb shit like that. But they said any cylinder head. So everybody's going crazy to get 461X heads, whatever. And I remember it was Steve Hellings. You know what you should use? One of those Vortec heads. Like, really? Vortec heads? He's like, yeah, the new trucks. I'm like, a truck head? And he's like, yep, those things are killer. So, did a little bit of research and then bam, and after that first year, Brian was so cocky. We put on the back of the car 439.7 because that's what made for horsepower.
Yeah.
And it made people crazy because those guys were making like 360, 350.
I could see him doing that too.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the grudge race.
I got that Vega wagon. You guys wanted to sell me that motor with the 2-barrel to go to English and just kill people with a 2-barrel.
Well, I think even back in the street race days, we talked about a crunch. What kind of race could we get with a 2-barrel?
Yeah.
To see what people would think. But
Everybody will jump on that. I'll race that. No problem.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Thomas, what do you got? Anything? Because our guest is going to be calling.
Yeah, he is. Well, we talked before about the NASCAR race, and you were kind of hating on them, and I kind of like it still.
I actually
Crickets.
posted on Facebook
I hear crickets.
that I turned. I asked if it was still on because I started watching a documentary on drying paint.
Yep, you did on paint drying.
They're thrilling.
That was funny.
You actually watching a documentary?
I could have.
on paint drying?
I would have selected that over the NASCAR race.
Well, it's a NASCAR color, so you get a
I would
little
have chosen
worlds.
bridge rusting personally, but that's just me.
Oh, you guys are brutal tonight.
That's a color.
Did you?
I like Junior, and I was glad he won. Now the pressure's off him. He doesn't have to worry about making a chase, and he will. He's going to win more now. He even said it.
Those guys make a lot of money too, don't they?
Yeah,
Well, Formula One came over to NASCAR, so there's got to be money there.
yeah, there is. They make a ton.
Wow.
I don't know when. Everybody uses the term for TV shows, "jump the shark." When NASCAR jumped the shark. For me, maybe when it was Dale Sr. was killed. I don't know. I don't.
It was pretty popular before that.
I know, but I'm saying when, like for me personally, when did I stop paying
for
attention
you.
to it? I would have to say it was around that time.
I have to say I've never watched an entire NASCAR.
Well, nobody has.
Nobody has.
I have, but not directly.
Why would you?
I've been in the room when it was on.
Because
But
it's
doing
like I
something
just come back in the last 10
Yeah,
laps. And just want to see what goes on.
We were just talking about that. I watched the last 60 on Sunday, just because that's when I walked in and it was okay. But usually you watch the start, you see what happens, then you go wash your car.
Well, now I don't feel as bad because when I was younger, I used to watch the ABC Wide World of Sports.
Yep.
And I would just watch the gymnastic parts where they would fall. So now I don't feel as bad.
Well, it's kind of like watching a NASCAR race for crashes.
for accidents.
the
Yeah,
crashes. That's a shame.
ND2.
Yeah. I watched a lot of it, and the only thing I told Tom, the only reason, if you didn't watch it, and Tad probably didn't watch it either, but there was a rookie, Blaney, kid. It was his first race, and he was running in third, and it was just to see a rookie manage to run good all day,
Right.
be in third, like in the closing laps, and then there was a typical like NASCAR shuffling of everybody, but unfortunately the leaders, not picking on Dale or anything, but I mean that's
Yeah.
and he got shuffled back, and I believe he finished fourth, Tom. That's what I told you. I could be wrong, but I think he finished fourth.
Yeah, I'm going to look it up.
That's exciting though.
Yeah, that
For
part
the young guy.
that part was exciting. I wanted to see him do well.
Didn't you have Yates heads or something in the shop once, and you couldn't get them to make power because they're only made to make power at one specific RPM? Or
That was the strangest thing in the world.
yeah, it's like 1 point they can make a power. Otherwise, any other RPM band, they're junk.
We had we got a set of heads from one of the cup teams, but we just needed the heads. Didn't really care, but we just needed the heads. Take the valves out of them, and Tom might even know. Extremely small percentage under the valve seat, like very, very small window. And I was like, this can't be good. Can't be.
You mean seat to throat
Yeah.
percentage?
Retarded. I mean,
As
like,
far as material?
yeah.
No, the percentage of difference.
Now, I think this might have been a plate head or something. I don't know if or it might have been an experiment, and that's why we ended up buying them. I don't know. But the volume of the head wasn't necessarily small, but that one area was neck down so much. So it was a supercharged Ford. Now it's supercharged. So we just want the air in the hole that makes the fire.
Right.
That's what we wanted. So we sent the heads out and got them redone, and it was amazingly different. But those things would not run a bit. But again, the NASCAR stuff is so highly specialized. Like you had asked before, Crunch, who's got the best power right now? I don't know if there's any way to ever know that. I don't think they're going to tell you.
Well, they talk about it down there occasionally, but I don't think anybody does know. I agree, because you can't really tell car to car, because it depends who hits the setup on the right day.
Well, it's going to be a closely guarded secret team to team too, but
right, like Ryan Blaney, he did finish 4th.
Yeah. Oh, he did. Okay.
I mean, that car was right.
Mhm.
He was the right driver in the right car at the right time.
Yep.
And that's really all it is. You can't say the Wood brothers make the most power. Well, obviously they don't even build them. They must run Roush Yates or
In drag racing, I think certain cars dominate different classes.
Yep.
True.
The makers.
True. And
The big three.
what you see, like with the circle track stuff, it's so dynamic. There's so many other things, and that's of course frustrates me to no ends, because I can't tell you, half these circle track guys 10 years ago were saying that, maybe more than 10 years ago. It's probably like 15 years ago. I'd have to think when we moved to modified. It's probably about 15 years ago. I heard people saying, we make 900.
Yeah.
We make 910. And the numbers were ridiculous, inflated, incorrect.
it's like your sprint car or what?
Yeah, couldn't do it.
Right.
Just couldn't do it and make the thing drivable. Now, our motor was a good piece. I mean, crap parts, but just because of what we could afford to do, but a good piece. And Brian would kill him in heat races when the track had bite in modified. And then as soon as the feature came, might as well just, oil the tires. It was terrible. But, with the circle track thing, somebody might look at your motor in a heat race and say, okay, that guy's got it good. He's got a good piece. But to be honest with you, if the car's not free and, the car doesn't work well, I'd rather have a perfect car and be down 200 horsepower than have all the power in the world and have a goofy car.
I don't know 200, but we used to talk about that all the time, you and I, about 40 horsepower, 50 horsepower.
Well,
Probably.
Want to talk about 200? Keith Hoffman, a guy who's a local racer up here, won a race at our track, Bridgeport, with a 9-1 358 PA motor that back then made 550, competing against 800 horsepower big blocks.
Could he just drive it stick or?
Yeah, but he had a weight bogey.
Very little, because it was an open show. It was kind of like, anybody come, we don't care, but here's what it is.
Really?
And he killed him. Killed him.
Wow.
Tire roll?
Yeah. No. Well, yeah, our tires, our tires, what we had to have. But it was a dry track. It was more about just driving the thing and having the car work well, but he hit the setup right. He was a good driver.
And all that power wasn't getting them out the curves.
Doesn't mean a damn thing if you can't put it down.
Well, the car went where he pointed it. So
Yep.
No doubt. That's a good story. I never would have imagined that. Not at 200.
It was, I mean, it probably wasn't 200 realistic. Oh yeah, it was more. It would be 250.
Well, in a quarter mile and 1320, I don't think it would be that difficult to apply the power. So
No, it's way different.
For drag racing.
Way different. Drag.
200 horsepower is no way.
Well, here's
you blow the tires off on the launch.
Everything else is equal, right? Tire size.
yeah.
So yeah, that.
But here's
the ball game.
even in the drag race stuff, it would be like trying to compare pro mod guys who makes the most power. You're going to go entirely by mile an hour? Can't really do that.
Right.
So I mean, that's, what it comes down to when you have too little power for what you're trying to do, efficiency matters. When you have too much power, chassis working period matters. So it's tough. It used to be the old days we used to use a dream wheel, a Moroso slide rule calculator, and always try to figure it out. And what it turned out is the only things you could really use that on were like good super stock cars, good comp cars, stuff like that. You could use it on
cars that are set up.
Yeah, the cars that are perfect.
Right.
So I don't know. Listen, I don't miss it from that side of it, and I certainly am not going to miss the frustration it's going to come when, Crunch, trust me, you're going to call me on Sunday morning. Yo, Killer, how'd you do? Go fuck yourself. I mean, it's going to be bad.
Can you use that word?
I can.
That's
No,
on the
he
list,
he does whatever he wants.
Well, I guess so.
I have to explain this again. We're on a podcast, so I can pretty much say whatever I want,
You
with the
definitely
exception of certain levels of hate speech.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty good at avoiding that stuff.
And the owner's not going to kick you out because, well, okay.
They're gonna tell Anthony to cut down 200 horsepower soon.
Yeah, and I mean
His car is flying.
now that's another thing that we talked about as well that didn't make it on, and that's mixing motors. That's actually probably a pretty good subject.
Yeah, it is a good subject.
Okay. Again, this is drawing from the Hillbilly Yahoo circle track experience I have. At one point,
I know.
Can't say hillbilly,
but that's not really hate speech. All right, listen.
Go ahead.
That circle track speech.
Yeah, right. At one point, one of the promoters, they're all dirty. You know, I mean, they do whatever they can do to get cars, and they don't give a shit about the racers that attend the racetrack. They think and the racers themselves, they're a little bit to blame for this. The racers need to realize that no matter how bad the racetrack wants to treat you, the people that are paying you are really the people in the stands. Those are the people that let the racetrack make money. If you guys aren't there, nobody's going to come to the racetrack. So to me, the talent of a racetrack, a local short track,
right,
is the actual racer himself. So they are also customers. They need to be treated well.
Right.
Every racer just wants a fair playing field. That's all they want.
Yep.
So, infinite wisdom. This guy's name was Norm Foss at Bridgeport. Decided he needed to bring in dirt.
We're back on circle tracks?
Yes. Well, it's to talk about motor mixing.
Okay. I thought we were on Pro Mod.
We could talk about this. So I'm going to explain why I know how bad this is.
Okay.
So this guy decided he was going to bring in another style of two-barrel motor called a Dirt Legal 358. Unlimited compression, two-barrel, bow tie head, same thing, flat tappet cam, no rocker ratio roll, no piston roll. I mean, you could kind of open. I mean, stock stroke, stock rod, but whatever. The bottom line is when we got done putting some time into them, they made 500. And they made a shitload of torque because they had so much more compression. They tried to balance those things forever to get the 9-to-1 motors, and made like 400, most of them, to work against the real good dirt motors. And here's what would happen. When you finally thought you had a handle on it, because one night the track was heavy and fast, the dirt guys would kill them. So they'd put weight on them. And they're like, okay, now we're good. Well, now, when the track dried out and it was more about getting around the track nicely and gingerly, the low horsepower motors would kill them because they were easier to drive. They weighed less. Right. You can't mix motors together and hope for the same results. Now,
well, in drag racing, that sounds like the turbo cars and the
lowers and the nitrous cars.
And the nitrous cars.
Yep.
I wish I had Anthony here that he could answer this because I don't know. Right. He might not know, to be honest with you. He's guessing at his horsepower, but he says 4,000. Here's a problem. Everybody takes 4,000 horsepower. Okay, well, if a turbo car makes 4,000 and a blower car makes 4,000, they're equal. Well, no, they're not, because the torque curve is completely different. How the power comes on is completely different. They are two different motors with two distinct
but the
curves.
owners, here's the problem. The owners choose what they run.
I agree.
Jay Payne, who, I don't know if anybody knows him, a top alcohol racer from California, and a big name and good. Brad Anderson family, I mean, real good stuff. They tried to get in Top Sportsman, and they tried to do it with a turbo, and they were a mess. So they had to go back to the blower. And, it's a choice they make. You know what you know. And
well, it sounded like they didn't understand the turbo.
They didn't.
Yeah.
But you would think they'd be able to figure it out, but they couldn't. So they got back on the blowers. But my point is, you make your choice based on what you know, and that's all there is to it.
I agree.
So,
I agree too.
So as far as mixing, as long as they allow it, it's really not a concern of anybody but who's doing what they choose.
It shouldn't be, but here's the problem. The one thing that's important to any racetrack is to keep your competitors happy at the racetrack. The people that are coming, you want the cars to come. I mean, look, we talk about fans, like we look in the stands and say, oh, there's nobody there. But the most important thing is, if I would like to think, at least maybe in a very rosy view of how racing should be, if you have a good count of cars and you have a good quality field of cars, it should make it more entertaining and more people want to come.
Yeah.
Right. Well, in the South, with the grudge racing for cash, the problem they're having is they're trying to appease the fans, but the guys are actually the draw. So the racers are the draw.
Sure.
But they're trying to make the grudge racers do different things to make the fans happy. Like, that's where no wheelie bars came in. People popping wheelies because the fans love all that stuff, but the racers are tearing their cars up.
Yeah.
So at what cost do you want to bring the fans in to put a show on?
Well, you have to, like Mike said, you have to bring the fans in.
Now, I mean, here's the thing behind the two motor thing. It's happening in Anthony's class right now. We talked about it when Anthony was on here. That like, I can't say, no, it's as fast as I can go. Anthony trying to be careful about it.
Right.
And
now that's out the water. Right?
Yeah, I know. I jokingly said, Anthony could go with 30.
Yeah.
Anybody ever heard that? They'd be like, oh my God, we got to put 1,000 pounds on the turbo guys.
Yep.
Right. What happens is once you get it to the point that the people are equal, then nobody's happy.
Right.
And that's not good.
And the racing sucks.
Yeah, and the racing sucks. Now, flip side of that, if they had pro turbo boost and pro blower boost, do they have enough cars to fill those classes together?
Okay.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Plus, like pro stock, it's neat, but they're so close. Okay, it's pro stock again.
Yeah, but
I
see, the funny thing is, and I could be wrong a little bit on this because I don't follow it to the nth degree, but Pro Mod and NHRA is pretty close on all of them. Maybe it's just that PDRA where they kind of don't have a handle on the rules because, I mean, Ricky Smith / Pat Musey were winning last year, and that's a nitrous car.
Okay.
And PDRA, you can't do anything with nitrous cars.
Well, there's another problem here too. If this is, it's what it's always been. It's like I don't know how to verbalize this. If it's always been this way, it is what it is. When you change the rules of the game, like you're looking like you're trying to do something, then the impression of the people. This is all psychology. It's what your competitors feel, what they think. Now, Anthony's smart enough to know, look, I did a good job, so I expect this to happen. But you see, here's where the problems come in. Think about this. Let's say Anthony qualified number 1 every meet he went to, and then number 2 through number 10 was all blower guys. Is there justification to put weight on one guy? Because now you're penalizing the one guy. So, I mean, you really need to...
They will.
And
They
the
just
answer is
did it.
no.
They just did it, though.
Yeah.
They did it to Anthony.
Well,
When he broke the record, they did it to him.
Unfortunately, I don't know. I don't know if Anthony is the only fast turbo guy, or I don't know if the top 5 end up being turbos.
But they changed that
some
record. They changed the record right after he did that, and we talked about it.
Right.
As soon as he broke the record, the next day, you sent it to me, right?
Yeah. Yep.
No, but there are a collection of guys, Totoro and, I forget some of the names, but there are some guys that are, nearly as fast, sometimes faster than him. He's just had his day.
Right.
Pretty much the last couple
Well, what
of
I'm
weeks.
saying is the top half of the ladder primarily occupied by turbocharged guys?
I don't know, and I guess it's bad. We should know.
There was a Corvette, like a blower Corvette, that almost looked like a funny car.
If one of us
That was
had an iPad, that we could look it up.
Or we used our trusty phones.
I don't think Tad's capable of figuring out all this stuff that quick.
Yeah, this
I'm
tech-
not hating on him. I think that if
technical
I had to
stuff
go do
is-
it,
That's
I
hating.
think
That's
he is. PDRA.
See, it's Mac stuff. I don't know about this stuff.
all right. So I mean,
We'll get back to him.
Yeah, we'll get back to that. I may have mute his mic. Think of mute his mic. All right.
Good if you want.
I think that
He hears you when you say that.
I know. I just realized that.
Was somebody talking about me? What?
It's a tough situation, and I mean, I know that they're trying to make it fair, but unfortunately, the way that I would look at it is exactly like we had a guy in the circle track side of things that was bitching about our motors constantly, and he was spending more money than we did on his motors with somebody else. And like, look, you're making your choice of where you're going. What do you want me to tell you? It's the same exact thing you said.
Who was he buying motors from?
I got it. Boy, the hate was just going to pop right
Say
out. You should be happy, Crunch. I pulled it right back.
Good guy. Good guy.
South Jersey engine builder who was a moron. I mean, he just
You can't
was.
say his name?
Nameless.
How about initials?
I don't want to because he passed away,
Oh,
and I actually liked the guy. He was a good guy.
What was his initials?
I can't tell you that now because people would figure it out. I mean, but not nice. And it was a while ago.
rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace. Yeah, he was a good guy. I'm not saying it.
How
I know
far
you're-
south? No, I'm not going to
Tom
hate
is
on the
digging.
guy.
Tom is
No, I
digging.
just actually want to know now. I wouldn't hate on a guy that passed
Yeah,
away.
we'll talk about it off air. Just
I don't know how far south, but he was down there.
Okay.
But I mean, we can talk about that off air.
All right.
But anyway, I mean, it's the same thing. The blower guys have to make a choice.
Yeah.
And, it could be that the blower guys, they know their craft. They know the fuel injector stuff. They know, how to make everything run, barrel valves, and all the other crap they got. Because Anthony was saying that they were going to allow them to put injection on at some point, electronic injection. So those supercharger guys, they probably know their craft better than, anybody just walking in would. So imagine a transition. And this is all you've known, this is what you've worked on, and now you look at it from your perspective. I got all this money in this car. Now I got to go buy another motor and do turbos.
It's funny. I don't know hardly anything about those things from the actual building, using all of it. But I will tell you, just looking at it from my perspective, which is like just a fan, it would seem to me that the blower guys, the problem they have is their power comes on too hard, and it seems like they don't get down the track as well as turbo guys.
Yeah,
which
and
causes you to lose races, every time.
I think a big portion of that is probably the computer management side.
Sure.
Like Anthony said, look,
Right.
Absolutely.
if these guys get, but I don't know if
I mean, if they get computer controlled blow off valves or boost controllers or all that stuff,
The technology helped the turbo cars get the 60-footers together. And once they start 60-footing and back halving because they're turbocharged,
yeah, then they got it all.
oh, they got it all.
I mean,
yeah, the other side of that, like you said, I was thinking from the blower side. Yeah, it's that's a situation that if they got better, people would be in trouble in a hurry. But the bottom line is, I forgot that the turbo guys really got a long way to go. Like if you look at the 60s, the blower guys are much better, much better.
yeah.
Blower guys came along.
That's like
But the blower guys always were better, but they got to rely more on track prep than the turbo guys.
That makes me think of my old buddy Ingersoll.
Yeah,
When that turbo came out, that was a Regal, right? Grand National.
yeah, Grand National.
yeah, it's
they
one of
borrowed
those
him.
V6s. So
He was way ahead of his time.
He was flying. That was in the high 80s, 87, 88.
Yep.
Now the Grand Nationals really changed the scope of things as far as how normal people viewed turbochargers. I mean, that was the car that changed the public perception of turbochargers.
Yep.
And I do have a funny.
Did you
Because it
have
wasn't
one?
a V8. It
No, I
wasn't
never
a
had one. Joe Siri had one, and he got the thing to go awful fast without ever taking a valve cover off.
Yeah.
it was pretty
it wasn't
good.
about horsepower; it was about torque. So
Yeah, that thing. But I was with a friend of mine that lived next door to me, childhood friend, Rich DeFrancisco, and I don't know, I think he's in Georgia now or something, and he works on. He's got some kind of shop. He works on all exotic imports and shit like that. But I remember he was talking to me about a Grand National. He's like, I want to go to the dealer and look at these things. So we get this doddering old guy, comes over in a Buick dealership. Yeah, this is the fastest production car you can buy right now. I'm looking at him like, you idiot. And it's a V6, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm sure it's awesome. Like rolling my eyes and everything. Had no clue. And because this guy was not exactly the sales guy.
Yeah.
Remember my picture on Facebook? That's what the guy looked like. Okay, he was the old doddering old guy telling you how wonderful this car is. You're like, no, dude, no. And sure enough, I was wrong.
But it was. Yeah, it was.
Yep. Yeah, they were a neat ride. All right, Thaddeus, what did you find out?
So I found one. It's not in Anthony's class. It's Pro Mod Outlaw. Quarter mile. He did a 547 at 263 miles an hour on a Corvette, supercharged with a Roots blower. But they don't have any decent list that I can see because everybody's in a different class or different style. It's turbo.
This is one of those things that to really ascertain what populates that top 16, you'd have to know that. Okay,
I would have just looked at one of the recent PDRA qualifying sheets.
yeah, but I don't even know if we could tell that
That's
without
just
knowing
me.
the guys. You know what I mean? I don't think it's going to say next to him blower or next to him turbo.
I think they do.
Yeah, they do. They do. They
they?
should list it.
Yeah.
PDRA, Ted.
I'm looking.
You want me to spell that for you?
I'm afraid that everybody will be turbocharging.
Starts with a P.
PDRA.
Spell qualifying for me.
That's a tough one. I can't spell that.
Wow.
Now I
Yeah.
need my phone. Oh, wow. Look at that. Now, wait a minute. That's funny, isn't it?
It says TK.
Yeah, isn't that funny?
Yeah.
Well, we have Tim Crest on the phone. Let's grab him. Hang on a minute. You there, buddy?
I'm here.
Fantastic. Hey,
Hey,
man.
man.
How are you?
What's going on, guys?
Nothing, just talking to you. And that's did you listen to all these?
I listened to.
Put you on the spot.
Yeah.
Because there was one of them where I talked in detail about Anthony's orange car that I just could not believe the craftsmanship. Like, I looked at it and I was like, God, that's a show car. It's perfect.
Yeah, he takes pride in his car. He keeps his stuff really, really nice.
Well, the pride in the car should come from the guy on the phone because, I was talking about where bars went through the firewall. It was perfect.
Right.
Everything was perfect. That was a top-notch, fantastic job. That was amazing.
Thank you.
And it's not easy to impress this clown either.
No.
Believe me when I tell you.
No, miserable.
Yeah.
Question: When are you going to be able to fit me in when I find a Malibu? Okay, because
Absolutely.
all right, good.
See,
You gonna
I
drive
say.
that far?
Say what?
You gonna drive that far?
What to you?
Yeah.
Sure, I don't care. I'm going to drive it that far home too.
Tim, he really doesn't care. He really doesn't.
Gotcha.
So, I've been telling these guys how long we've known each other. It goes back to when we were in high school. And,
God, 16 years old, maybe 15.
yeah. Wow. And I also told them, and I was kind of probably making it up, but I told them you built the first pro street car in the United States, I thought.
Yeah, well, I don't know about the United States and all that, but
Well, I don't either, but it was pretty damn early that you had the 57.
yeah, with stock car tires on them when they didn't make the big street tires.
Yeah. But it looked just like the Pro Street stuff of today, and it was cool as hell. And I also told him the story about stretching a pickup truck into a drive-up car carrier.
Oh God, yeah, I remember those days.
Yeah.
It was funny because Tom told me that story, and he's like, we all kind of knew that this guy was going somewhere when he built his own, car carrier. He's like, he didn't buy one, he built one.
And it looked legit. I mean, it was cool.
Tim,
It's not a necessity. Yeah.
Tim, how are you? This is Crunch.
How are you?
Long time no see, bro.
Oh my God, too long.
Yeah, you worked on all our street cars back in the day. You put our Southside traction bars on.
I remember.
Yeah, remarkable work. Steve's S10,
Thank you.
my Camaro, the convertible that we ran around. We drove around going 1080s back in 1994 with street tires and tailpipes.
Yep.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
so many cars from up in East Orange there.
Yeah. It's good to hear from you. I hear you're doing beautiful things.
I'm trying. Yeah, I moved into a new shop about. I guess it is 3 years. Yeah, it's actually 3 years right now.
Okay.
And I just bought the building from the owner and doing well.
Good.
Now, just to give out some information on you, I mean, if anybody listening needs to get in touch with you, how can they reach you? Where are you located? I mean, because we know everybody here knows you went to Florida. We all know that, but give a little bit of plug to yourself.
Edgewater, Florida. It's about 15 miles south of Daytona. My website is coastchassis@aol.com, or my phone number is 386-756-8001. You can reach me like that.
All right, perfect. Now,
How busy is it down there, man?
Honestly, I don't think location makes a big difference in what I do, being that I've been doing it for so long. But it's been really, really good. I can't complain. I'm always busy, so
That's
a
good.
thing.
Yeah, Rudy posted a picture of his Nova. I guess that thing's
Oh,
almost.
did
Is it ready to get picked up? Because he's on me constantly for parts.
Yeah, it's. I'll probably have it done by Friday. There's a few things he added to the list that I need to take care of, but yeah, I'll have it done by Friday.
Yeah, he listens to all of these, and I'm going to say it on the air. He's out of his mind. I got him some. I have all the deals on parts, obviously. So he asked me if I can get him some autometer gauges, and I put the order in. He paid for it. They all shipped except his tack. And he was on me like a rabid dog for this tack. And I was down there last week. And listen, I would have stopped to see you, but I was down in West Palm and Fort Myers. Just flew in and out. But so I'm in there shopping. I'm like, dude, you were giving me shit about this tack, and I knew you didn't even have your car. He's like, yeah, but I wanted it. He's like a big child. It's funny. I mean, I love those guys. They know it, but just funny.
Right. He's got quite a bit of work to do when he gets it back, so it's he has time to get his gauges.
Yeah, I know, plenty of time.
I want to ask a question, Tim. It's Mike. What is your primary work like right now? Where is your main work from? Is it across the map, or is it everything? Like, I mean, is it X275 stuff? Is it real full chassis? I mean, what are you doing? Like, what's your primary work basis right now?
It's a mix of everything. Right now, the last few years, it's changed a lot. It's funny because when I was up in New Jersey, all the outlaw 10.5 and whatnot was all down south. So I decided to move to Florida. Well, a year later, everything moved back up north, which was really strange.
Right.
But I'm doing a lot of everything. Pro Mod is big down here, just because there's no real 10.5 class down here. So I've been doing a lot of that.
And you build whole cars still? Like
Yeah.
Wow.
Absolutely.
That's amazing.
We should take a road trip down there.
I'd want to go down there in a minute, because that to me, like, I mean, Tim, I don't, like I told these guys before, I got involved. My brother, something hit him on the head years ago, and he started running these circle track things, and they're ridiculous. They're old time straight axle torsion bar in the back. It's just some strange stuff.
Really?
Oh yeah, I mean,
And you got to power wash them after you race.
yeah, it's
Just
terrible.
dumb.
But I mean, all the stuff like the real, like, I like the drag cars better. I like everything about them, and
Right.
I'd love to take a ride down.
I appreciate the circle track stuff, but I, as a builder, couldn't do it. I would hate to work all week and have a guy go out and wreck it every weekend. Drive me crazy.
Well, Tim, what do you think about the progression of stock suspension over the past 4 or 5 years?
I think it's great. I love those cars. I love the 275. I love the radial versus the world stuff.
Oh, okay.
I think it's a little out of control as far as cost wise. The average guy, like the 275 class, was a great class when it started for the guy to afford, but now it's out of control.
Right. So the heavy hitters are dominating.
Oh yeah. I mean, down here it's very big.
Right.
I love it. I think it's great. I think there's going to be some safety issues coming up because they are so fast.
Right.
And as you've seen, a lot of cars are getting out of control.
Right.
They're probably going to have to put some kind of limit on it eventually.
Well, I remember sitting behind when I got involved with like the Nitrous Peak guy and those guys, and they had they had like smaller tire stuff, and I remember sitting at the line when we were there for a test day or something, and you look at these things, and they got at about the 8th mile mark, and they started moving all over the racetrack. I'm like, these guys got a death wish.
Yeah,
they're crazy.
Yep. Yep.
Then they take away the wheelie bars.
Yeah.
Nobody wants wheelie bars.
Yeah, I was just going to mention, I think the wheelie bar thing is the biggest issue. I mean, I'm sure you've seen the video a million times of the cars in 3/4 track, wheel standing and flipping over. And
going airborne.
like I said, it's a safety issue.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, you get those guys, they're going there. Now the speeds are so high. It's like the Cup stuff. When the cars they used to get sideways, you needed to put air flaps on them and everything to keep them from going over. You get no air under the nose of that car when you're going that fast. Yeah, it's going to happen.
Yep.
Exactly.
A blowover with a full-bodied car. That's amazing.
Right.
Well, and you got to remember, too, the average, 10.5 car is 2,900 pounds, 3,000 pounds.
Yeah.
I mean, some of them are lighter, the small block combinations, but still, that's a lot of weight when it gets tumbling.
Yeah, it's a lot of car.
Yeah.
True.
Mm-hmm.
True indeed.
A lot of inertia there to try to control and keep the driver safe more than anything. That's tough.
Exactly.
All right. Well, Tim, a guy like you, I have to ask you, a man who's into cars, building cars from the ground up, give me your ideal dream car.
For myself?
For yourself.
You're asking the wrong guy.
Yeah? I know you probably have a few cars already that are your dream that
honestly,
you did.
I don't.
You don't?
If he said like a 1960 Volkswagen bus, I'd shoot myself.
No, it wouldn't be a. I bet you I could. I bet
Well,
you
it's light.
I could come close. I bet I could guess.
For Tim? You would guess for Tim?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Wait, before you say it, let me guess.
Go ahead.
Are we talking about a full-on race car? Or are we talking about just a?
Whatever he comes up with, his imagination.
Well, are you talking about a race car or a street car?
Street car? Give me the street car, because we used to say street
A 69 GTO Judge.
Well, I still have that.
Oh, you do? Shit.
Yeah.
I
It's in
cheated.
pieces, but I have it.
I cheated on that one.
Okay. Well, what's your answer, Tim?
See, I can't really give you an answer to that because I'm so involved with my customers and working at the shop that I do it, 6-7 days a week. And
Right.
honestly, I really don't want to race myself.
Right. Something you jump in on a Sunday morning because it's nice out and you just take a cruise. What would it be?
A limousine.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna come down there with Mike's Malibu. He has this
Right.
he has this idea in his head, and we want it done so we can drive this summer. So we had to put that on fast track. But I want to know your answer,
Right.
so I'm not gonna let you off the hook.
And it might not be too easy because like people always said to me, like, if you could build a motor for your car, what'd you build? I'm like, nothing. I'd like it as factory stock as possible with a warranty.
Yeah.
Well, look what that happened with the Corvette already. So
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. You have to look at it my point of view. It's the same as any of you guys. I'm sure you don't want to do your job on your day off.
No, yeah, you're right.
Gotcha.
Yep.
But at the same time, I have a 16-year-old son that's going to be 17, or he's going to be 17 Wednesday. But anyway, he's really, really involved, and he wants to race. He wants a car. He's never raced a car before, but he's under the interpretation that everyone starts out in Pro Mod.
He sounds like my son.
all know
Oh
how that goes.
man.
Yeah,
My son doesn't want to crawl before he walks. He just wants to get up and just take off.
that sounds expensive.
He's not going to do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to build him a Pro Mod style car, and then I'm going to put a small block that goes 13 seconds in it. And this way, as he progresses, I just increase the power. I don't have to build him 3-4 cars.
Well, there's the next question: supercharger, turbocharger, or nitrous? So.
I like them all, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
Wow.
They're all so competitive right now.
Good answer. Good answer.
It's hard to pick. I would like a blower car or a nitrous car just for the simple fact that I don't know how to tune with the boost controller and all that stuff.
Right.
The other stuff I can pretty much handle.
Yep.
Okay.
So I would probably go one of the two.
Okay. Cool.
Your son's name Kyle?
Yes.
Well, you got to say happy birthday to Kyle, no?
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell him we said happy birthday.
I'm sure he's listening.
Oh, good. Good.
Yeah, he hit us on Facebook.
Oh, okay, cool.
He liked us on Facebook.
That's good.
I got one last question for you, Tim. And if you don't want to discuss it, I understand, because it might be too wide to be able to ask this. But if a guy came into you and wanted to build an X275 type car, is there a start and end point financially he could expect to spend, or does it depend on the car type you're starting with? I mean, how bad is this now? Because you mentioned the expenses getting there.
Car type really doesn't matter to me. A car is a car.
Right.
But it's the options that you put in it. Whether he wants to go titanium, everything, carbon fiber, everything, type of brakes, just on and on and on. You can spend $30,000, you could spend $100,000.
Wow.
Wow.
It's crazy what these people are putting in these cars. It's pretty much a pro mod on a small tire.
And I would imagine it's like anything else, that when you get to, if you spend 30, it would get you there. You spend 60, you got there with kind of the right stuff, but to get those last couple hundreds are the most expensive hundreds.
They always are.
Right, exactly. And a lot of it's not even that aspect of it. A lot of it is who has the prettier car. A lot of people really, really like their stuff. Everything plated, everything,
that's true.
Titanium, everything carbon fiber. It's just personal preference.
That's true.
Mm-hmm. Everybody up here used to call that the jewelry. Who's got the nicest jewelry on their car? Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, well,
go
ahead.
I think actually the Soma's car is probably one of the first ones in the area with all the full carbon interior and everything.
Oh, yeah, just gorgeous stuff.
Yeah, Mike was amazed at that car.
It was funny because when we got there and like the car was apart, and just taking apart to get the motor out of it or whatever, and I don't know, did the doors come off? And I couldn't even remember. Yeah. So I think it was pretty far apart, and I'm just looking at it, and I was actually looking to find something I didn't like, and I couldn't.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like I said, he's very meticulous about his cars. He likes them a certain way, and everything has to be nice.
Yeah, well, I mean, I can't say enough how impressed I was. And if I needed a chassis, any kind of work done, you'd be the guy as long as you'd take me. You know what I mean? Because
of course I would.
I appreciate that.
Oh, no. Once you met him, you might.
Tim, we're coming down there. Trust me, we're going to bring that Malibu. We just have to find one. Barrett Jackson, the show, has everybody thinking that they have a mint in their garage and they want to sell junk for $10,000.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So as soon as we find a good body for Mike, we coming down because he has a vision.
Crunch is spending a whole bunch of your money.
I know, right?
Now.
He's like, yeah.
We're coming down. What about?
He's got a $90,000 Corvette in the garage that's sitting every time I come here. It's sitting. It's not even moving. So we need to get him in the Malibu.
That's got its reasons.
You guys actually need to come down, even if you don't have a car. Come down and hang out. And
Oh yeah, definitely. We should make a road trip.
We should. Well, you guys can make a road trip. I'm flying.
Yeah, Tom will be in first class. Hey, I landed. How far out are you guys? You dick. All right. Well, Tim, do me a favor. Plug your business phone number one more time again, so anybody that's listening can get in touch with you.
It's 386-756-8001.
All right, fantastic, and that's Coast Chassis.
Coast Chassis. Thanks, Chassis. Hey Tim. Thanks for calling, man. I appreciate
Anytime.
it.
Thank you, guys.
All right, thanks, Tim.
Good
See ya.
hearing from you.
Right.
Wow, that was neat.
He's a good dude.
I know.
He's a good dude.
I met him once, like 20 years ago when Warfel worked there.
He doesn't remember.
Way back when. No. No, Warfel does.
That was probably pre-brain injury, so you were probably...
No, I was driving a CRX, so that's
maybe you weren't
post-brain injury.
Maybe you weren't even there.
I was there. Trust me.
No,
that was a good call.
I can't stress enough, and people that don't know me, besides knowing that I'm definitely a little hostile and
in front of.
You are?
I have a little bit of that.
Hey, let me interrupt because we got to do this when we go down there.
Yeah.
And I think we should.
Yeah.
I would definitely go.
I would go.
He does an imitation of one of he's going to be cracking up right now if he's listening. He had an auto body teacher. By the way, not only can he do all the chassis stuff.
Yeah.
And I know he doesn't paint anymore. He hasn't done it in years. But if he wanted to, he could paint. Maybe he does. I don't even know. But he could paint your car like show paint, like ridiculous. Like on ice. So he does this imitation of his old teacher. I think his name was Hetman. And I can't make it funny right now because of what the guy used to do, but I'm sure Tim is laughing right now. He would take his hand and smack it on the car like that's how the guy would find imperfections in the car. And you got to see it. I know he's laughing. I know it.
Kind of like the typical shop teacher.
Yeah.
That you're just like, how did you get here, dude?
Yeah. Yep.
What went wrong? Tell me what went wrong along the line. You're a shop teacher.
And there's a lot of stories I probably can't tell on the air too, but
I'm sure.
Tim is a good guy.
But yeah, I am picky.
We're going down.
I like
to find that car. I have my son working on it. I'm going to find something, rolling chassis, even if it's a stock motor, and we're going to rip that thing apart and make it a cruiser.
Don't want to find something that somebody's already messed with. You know what I mean?
No. Trust me. We're going down. We want Tim to do his magic.
They got to be yellow.
No, it doesn't have to be. That won't be yellow.
It's going to be black, right?
Yeah, that'll be black.
It's going to be Mike's money.
Yep. Now,
put a bug shield on it. It says Lucifer.
Oh, Christ. Here we go.
Oh, yeah. Well, I wanted to mention before we do anything else, the model cars that I saw on this one website. I'm going to put a picture up later for Power and Speed on Facebook. Mm-hmm. But the model cars look exactly the way you send these guys pictures of your car. Mm-hmm. You send a few angles and they create your car in a model.
So wait a minute.
Plastic model.
I'm a little confused. I was thinking about like the people that did the cars, like they did like what, Todd, you know all of them, Red Alert something, and they're people that made models of famous cars.
Right.
This isn't it. This is for the regular guy.
This is for the regular guy.
Really? So he just
whatever car you send him.
Yeah.
In pictures, front, back, sides, they're gonna duplicate it. And they're going to make it look just like your car.
In like 1/24 scale?
Yes.
I didn't get that. Yes. When we were talking pre-show, I didn't get that. That's pretty badass.
That is pretty badass.
And see,
one of 3D printer or
one of the sites is 10-inch tire drag car models for Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to put up a couple pictures just to give the people an idea. But I was blown away.
Now, I want to point out they didn't sponsor the show or anything. I mean, we're not bringing them up because we're trying to plug a sponsor. That's something.
I don't even,
but I'm going to call them and try to get some money out of them now.
I never even mentioned these guys. I'm just going to, I just want to put that out there because car guys will look at this. They have slot cars that they do. They have regular plastic cars. And I saw some die-cast metal cars.
Really?
Can I say something right now?
Sure.
I just got a text from a buddy of mine. We used to play a combat game online.
Yeah.
He's a Martha's Vineyard cop.
Yeah.
And he just texted me. He's like, "Is that your podcast?"
How the hell did he find
I don't know.
And why would somebody
but it's so awesome
in wine country be listening to?
And what kind of car does he have? What does he?
He used to have a Dodge Neon. He used to make fun of himself. But he's friend. I'm friends with him on Facebook.
Right.
So he's working right now.
Okay.
As hard as cops work. He's driving around listening to a podcast.
Bad cop, no donut.
But Chappie, what's up, brother? We used to fly these old airplanes in this. This is again stories for that too.
RC, remote control?
No. Online PC game.
Oh, okay.
Just killing people and team speak and talking to each other.
You dork.
Yeah. Well, hey, I admitted
I thought you were
it.
talking about remote control.
No. All right, I just want to say hi to him.
Yeah, I saw guys flying helicopters in the park over the weekend too.
Yeah, no,
remote control.
Those guys are nuts.
All right.
One thing I have to bring up, and we even just to so everybody gets exactly how messed up we are. I have here in my hand a piece of paper that was supposed to be sitting on the console to remind us to give out a phone number. 908-751-0211. That's so people can call in.
Well, we did give it out.
We gave it out once in the beginning. You think?
Well, we're stupid.
Well, what? Yeah. Well, I mean, honestly,
we're car guys.
It was facing you.
I know.
It was facing you. It wasn't facing me.
I know. That's what I mean. You're stupid.
So I mean, we got a little bit of time left. Anybody wants to call in? We are watching the phones. We weren't taking any calls earlier because we were waiting for Tim to call in. But if anybody's out there listening, and wants to give a call, it's fine.
Right. Somebody from Utah
would be priceless.
And the battle of the baddest small blocks, naturally aspirated stock suspension cars. It's going down on May 24th in Dinwiddie, Virginia.
Really?
It's going down.
Tell us a little bit about that because I have no clue what you're talking
Me
about.
neither.
Oh, okay. Well,
Sounds interesting.
The guys from around this way. Flex called in. You remember
Yep.
a couple episodes back. Flex from New York. Young Stang from East Orange. You have
We got to get cool names.
Nighthawk from. Yeah, these are all handles.
I'd
for
be
online.
Fat Guy.
I'm Crunch on smallblockposse.com. I'm me myself.
I'd be. I'm gonna think of
Go
something.
ahead, come up with it. Go ahead, Tom. Go ahead, spit it out.
I'd be the TB clown.
Is oh my God. That's,
So they have a guy Nighthawk, and then they have another guy Theo.
Only we get that.
So it's going to be the baddest small block shootout between 4 guys. They're going to pick from a hat, first 2, and then the winner of that one runs to the next one. They win, boom.
and this is this a locked in race or
Locked in.
is
They
this
put $1,000 each up already. They have to put 4 more thousand. So each one puts in $5,000.
Wow.
And then the track is going to match 1,000 on each head.
Really?
So the total pot is $24,000.
good for the track?
And
man.
winner take all.
Winner take all.
That's good for the track.
It's 2 races,
The track.
4 cars, 2 races.
And Dinwiddie's a legit track.
24
It's a legit
grand.
NHRA track.
I think I said it a while back that if the tracks would get behind this stuff a little bit and
Right.
publicize it and everything, a lot of people like to watch real stuff.
yeah.
You know, I mean, it's
Well, what happened was these guys were trying to race each other. These are real, true grudge racers for cash, but they can't get each other. They can't actually run each other. So the young guy, young Stang, put it together in his mind, and he said, let's just do a shootout. So they agreed to it, and now it's on. It's on.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And that's good bread too. It's good money.
Yeah, May 24th.
Yeah. All right. That's nice. That's a good thing to plug. I think that'd be a neat event to see.
Are we ever going to go to anything? You know, the half-mile race in Virginia is this weekend.
It's for what? For me to watch and just say, yeah, told you.
Well, you can bring your Corvette.
Not a chance.
Yeah.
We're going to ride.
That thing blew up driving around here. You think I'm taking that piece
So
of
bring-
shit down there?
Bring the other one.
But the other one, the other one probably won't blow up, but it won't go like faster than like 140, maybe. How fast could it possibly go?
I don't know.
Do we have a
We'll
picture
find
of the
out.
vet on Facebook?
Yeah, I put one up
Yeah.
at one point
Oh, okay.
because Tad was making
That's a
fun
beautiful yellow car, convertible.
Which one was that?
of. No, you were making fun of me with yellow. Yeah, you posted something. You guys need this, and they said, "Does it come in yellow or something?" I don't know.
Oh
Somebody-
no, that was the Hennessy Cadillac.
Yeah. I just
1,000
posted
horsepower caddy.
a picture of the car so everybody understood why they were breaking my
stock
nuts
car?
about yellow.
1,000 horsepower?
It's a Hennessy. You know, it's. He said, "Oh, I'll buy it if I can get it in yellow." And I'm not about to be contacting them about, hey, what color do you sell that in?
Those cars are they're growing on me. The station wagon version.
Do what? CTSV?
Yeah, I mean they're round and they have the nice black wheels, or they have the wheels matching the color.
I got to tell you, I always hated them, but they're growing on me too.
Yeah, I mean
I know somebody else that was really into them too, but he's not here right now.
one of them
comment.
sounded like he had flow masters
Really?
and
Alan did big on those things.
On the CTSV wagon?
The wagon, yes,
I hate it.
it's a family truckster, but it's performance.
No, they are badass. They are.
I think they're the ugliest thing that ever
I
rolled
did.
out of an assembly line.
Yeah.
I did too. But
at first I did. Mike, I'm telling you, when I ride by them and they're making that noise, these things sound like they got flow masters. I mean, it's beautiful.
you know, we got to get. I got to get an iPad. And what's that thing they have?
Airdrop.
AirDrop. Because I have a picture of one that my buddy sent me, and I was like you. I thought they were ugly as sin. He sent me a completely blacked out one, lowered, badass, and it looked pretty cool.
Well, I got to hand it to you. Your Subaru, if it ever reappears, does look neat. It does. It doesn't.
You do have a nice looking Subaru.
Ricer.
Other than yours, I don't even look at Subarus.
Not a boy.
Yeah.
I don't even look at it.
Now yours is a Forester, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, the guy that lives at the end of my driveway, like all the way. I mean, you got a long driveway, so the house is right up front. The one guy, Charlie, he just bought. I think him and his wife both bought Foresters, and that's what yours is.
A pair.
Yeah, a pair.
That's what mine is.
But yours is yours an XTI or
Yeah.
yeah? So
Yeah.
it's not like a
It's fully swapped.
get in with your automatic, go to the grocery store.
No.
It's an actual performance Forester.
All right. Let's not talk about Subarus. Mine blew up in 600 miles.
Mine didn't, but
I'm pretty sure you were
Yeah.
getting in it.
Yours doesn't run.
yes, it does.
Does not.
I mean, it'll only do 14s now from this far cry from the 12s that it was doing, but it was stock and untuned at that time. So
Oh, we are so out of gas right now.
Yeah, I'm pretty. But I'm really happy that Tim called in. It was good, and
Yeah.
we should talk about a couple other things. And today was going to be a day we had someone on. We weren't sure who it was going to be. It was either going to be Mike Murillo. It was going to be potentially Ken Herring, somebody.
Yeah, we're trying. I mean, I texted Mike.
It's timing. It's just we gotta.
Yeah, I know.
We gotta get synced up so we can get some of these guys in.
Well, I hope we can get Mike and Ken, or Mike or Ken, maybe separate occasions. I haven't even asked Ken yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I will.
Yeah, get him on because I have some questions.
Do you know him?
I don't. I know them because they've argued with me on a Yellow Bullet, but I don't know them.
Oh, I don't either.
They've argued with you?
Yeah, I've argued with everybody. Phil Schuler, I can't wait to destroy Phil Schuler some kind of way. Some kind of way. Little guy like me, little budget guy like me, I want to get Phil Schuler so bad.
Well, you better do it eating or something, because for the racing side, it's going to be tough.
Yeah, he's a tough guy. See, that's like me. Like with Mayweather just won the fight over the weekend. Congratulations to him. But when you have a guy that's dominating, you want to get in there and be a part of how can we go to the top and beat the top.
I hope certain people listening to this understood that that's what competitive people do. It's not good enough.
Yep.
Every day it has to get better. It doesn't matter if it's podcast, if it's a racetrack, it doesn't matter. It's Brian's stupid ass circle track car. Every day you try to get better.
I can back that up because I went with Mike. They're winning. Arguments went out in the pits. Ride ensues. I lose my flashlight. Cops break us up. I'm like, what just happened?
Oh yeah, there really are some hillbilly antics down there, rolling around the ground.
You can't say
It's like-
hillbilly.
But they all know they're hillbillies.
But I was like, this is why I don't like dirt track stuff, man. Jeez,
Why?
look at
Because you
this.
lost your flashlight?
Yeah.
How did that part get into the story?
You had to be there.
Listen, multiple head injuries,
I got you.
brained out. Trust me, we're gonna learn more about Tad as time comes on.
Cops fighting, riot. I lost my flashlight.
Yeah, the cop took my flashlight. Oh, no, this is mine. No, I don't. Bastard.
Bastard is on the list.
You really are going to fit in as like a special character if you get the meaning of special, right? You kind of got that.
He's good.
That's
We need cameras in here. We do.
As long as I'm behind him, I'll filming you guys on him. Yeah.
Somebody help me. All right. Well, I think we had a decent show.
Yeah, I do too. I think it was good.
I can't thank Tim from Coast Chassis calling in. And if I had half a brain, I would have wrote his phone number down so he could have plugged it at the end. But I didn't remember.
CoastChassis@AOL.com.
Yep. AOL.
That's what he said.
I might have to help him with a mail server.
Yeah, maybe you
I
should.
still have AOL.
All right,
I have
everybody.
it, but I don't use it, so.
We'll see you next time.
Thanks a lot,
again
everybody.
for listening. See ya.